If you have some big financial goals, no matter what your age, and you care about hitting them in a way that is in integrity and that feels good to you and that allows you to do something that you really love and enjoy, then you are really going to like today's video, because in it, I'm going to share with you 4 powerful mindset shifts that helped me make my first million before 30. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Louisa Jo, and around here we're all about the things that you need to help you go from employee to entrepreneur. So we're talking about the 4 mindset shifts that helped me make my first million before 30. And this is something that has been documented. I actually made my first million by the time I was 27. It was featured in a Forbes article. I've talked about bits and pieces in it in Business Insider and some other publications. And the reason I want to mention that specifically, and this is important, is because I want you to know, in order to have those publications like Forbes and Business Insider publish that, they require actual proof. They require your tax returns and or your actual receipts from your payment processor to prove that claim before they will publish it. That's really important, so you know, okay, all right, this is real. It's not just something I made up, and you can rest assured knowing that. So with that, let's jump into the mindset shifts. Mindset shift number 1 is that money is what you make of it. So where I'm coming from is growing up, I grew up in a middle-class immigrant family. My dad supported all of us on one income, which was a very middle-class income. And for years he was underpaid because he didn't know anything about negotiating his salary or anything like that. And so the mentality that I was taught growing up is that money is hard to make. If you are able to get a job making $60,000 per year after college, like, you have made it, and you better be darn grateful for it and hope that you can hang on to it until you're able to retire. So that's the mentality I was raised with around money. There was also the mentality that rich people, quote unquote, are evil, right? They had to do evil things to make that money. And so it was all of those things that made me think, okay, wow, there's so much negativity around money that, oh, I can't possibly make more than what I'm making in a regular salary. And so what I had to do was realize that those are just stories that we are taught, and we all have that. But guess what the good thing about a story or a belief is? It can be changed. And so I had to do the work to realize that money is what you make of it. There are evil people with lots of money, just as there are amazing good people with lots of money. Just as there are evil people who don't have a lot of money, and amazing great people who don't have a lot of money as well. And I say evil to kind of illustrate the difference, not necessarily to say that they're actually evil, although they are too. So that was really what I had to really understand and release. So all the stories about me not being worthy of making money, of the fact that I would be a bad daughter if I made more than my parents, of that I would have to be conning other people out of their money to be able to make money for myself, that money is a zero-sum game, all of that. I had to identify each of those beliefs and basically recognize, hey, this is a belief and I can choose to change it, and then work on other beliefs that were more beneficial. So if you want to get started with that, a book that really helped me start to see things in a different way is Tapping into Wealth by Margaret Lynch. So if you just type that in, that's really easy to find. So that was mindset shift number 1. Mindset shift number 2 is to create a product that you believe in 1,000%. So as you can probably imagine, I did not make my first million before the age of 30 by working a regular job. I started a few businesses and made my way to the point where with one of the businesses, we crossed over $1 million alone in a year. And what I learned from all of that is to to be able to really succeed and to sell and to come from that place of believing that you're actually doing good and not just taking people's money, you have to create something that you believe in 1,000%. So for me, what really helped was I created something that I wished I'd had at the beginning of my business journey. So what I did was I had to spend years learning about how to run a business and learn all the different pieces of how to build a business. And it took me close to a decade because I didn't know what I didn't know, and I was figuring it all out really slowly. And it took me a lot of time and money. And by the time I made some traction in my first online business, this was about, I want to say, 6 years ago, I was thinking, okay, I have figured this out. It's taken me a really long time, and I'm going to show people how I did it. I'm going to teach them everything I wish I'd known leading up to this. And so I created, over time, my flagship product, Employee to Entrepreneur, that teaches people in jobs how to take their existing skills, build a coaching business, and replace their income. And in it, I made it incredibly comprehensive. I put in all the different pieces that I wish I'd known, and it had taken me just lots of trial and error to figure out I needed to know. And I believed in it so much because there was no other product like it. It was exactly what I wish I'd had. I put my heart and soul into it. I actually spent 3 years over time iterating it and creating it and to this day, it's still pretty much the best thing I've ever created. Honestly, I've continued to update it over the years. And I believed in it so much that I could say to each person who told me they were considering buying it, the truth, which was, I believe this is the best course for you if this, this, and this is true. I know that I have made it into everything I wished for. I have, over the years, tried every product coaching course on the market leading up to that point. They didn't do it for me. I had to piece it all together and figure it out myself. And that's why I put all my experience and knowledge into this course. So I believed in it 1,000%. I wasn't creating a product just to make sales or to try and make some money. I mean, that was definitely going to be a result. I wasn't just doing it for, I wasn't just doing it for charity, which you don't need to do. But I believed in it 1,000%. So that's mindset shift number 2. And it can be really any product. It could be very likely something you create, a coaching product, a course product. It could be a physical product as long as it's something that you believe in wholeheartedly so that you can go out there and sell it with all your heart and people can tell. Mindset shift number 3 is to take yourself out of the equation. So for years, what kept me stuck was thinking, oh my gosh, I need to make this money so that I can leave my job. I need to make this much money so I can prove to the world I've made it. I need to make this much money so that I can take care of my family. I need to make this much money to prove to myself that I can. Once I make this much money, I'll be successful, right? All of those things that might be familiar to you too. And guess what? The issue with all of those things is that no one is sitting around thinking, okay, let me pay you so that you can feel good about yourself. It is what it is, right? And so instead, what I had to realize was that was just me. That was too me focused. And that's not how you build a successful business. You have to focus on what other people want and make it about them first. It's like that Zig Ziglar quote, you can have everything you want in life if you can help others get what they want. And I truly 100% believe that. And so I had to stop thinking, okay, oh my gosh, what if I don't make the sale? What will it say about me? What if I don't hit this revenue goal? What will it say about me? And make it about, okay, how can I help the most people in the most ways, in the best ways possible? Now, of course, I want to caveat that doesn't mean you have to just overgive and give people everything for free and just burn yourself out. That doesn't serve anyone. So there is a fine line there. But within that fine line, I focused on, all right, how do I make it about others and how I can help them? Because through helping them is really how I will be able to help myself in my business. So that took a lot of work so that every time, for example, on a sales call, I would have to focus on, okay, it doesn't matter if they buy or not. It's not about me. My job on the sales call is to make sure that I'm helping this person come to the best decision for them, whether or not they should buy my product, my coaching, my course, etc. And whether that's a yes for me or a no for me, that is not my thing to worry about. If it's yes, great. If it's no, then I'll have done my job and helped them get clear on that. So all of that. Or when I'm creating free content, right? At this point, I've been putting out free content in various forms for about 6 years. Live streams. I started with Periscopes when that was a thing, Facebook live streams, now the YouTube channel for the past 2+ years, blogs. Just so much free information. And I don't go into it thinking, okay, oh my gosh, how can I do free information so that someone wants to buy from me? Of course, if someone wants to buy from me after seeing how great my free information is, amazing. But there are plenty of people who will just use my free information and go out there and get what they need. But through doing that, because I'm focusing on creating great free content and not worried about, oh my gosh, what's the end result going to be, I'm able to create the best content, which helps people who want to buy make the best decision about, oh wow, this chick's content is great. I want her paid stuff too. And people who don't buy from me, that's okay. They go out there and get great results. They still share my content. They still come to me and say, hey, I love all your stuff. I watch all your content. I share it. Let me just give you some love on here. And so it all works out. But it starts with you kind of not making it about you, because ultimately that's how you're going to succeed the most and the fastest. So that's mindset shift number 3. Mindset shift number 4 is to embrace get rich slow. Now, here's the thing. You might be thinking, wait, Louisa, what are you talking about? You're talking about how you made your first million well before 30. Why are you telling me advice on embracing get rich slow? Because the truth is, that is how you get rich faster. I don't want to say get rich quick, because that just brings up lots of thoughts of being scammy, and that's not what we're here to talk about. But it reminds me of, I think, that Warren Buffett quote, right? When people ask his secret, his quote unquote secret to success, he says, nobody wants to get rich slowly. Everyone wants to get rich fast. But the truth is, he has done it relatively slowly in that with his investment strategy. And that's the way I feel about it too. And so the thing is, when you're really focused on it has to work today, it has to work this month, these arbitrary deadlines that we can impose just because we're scared and we're not sure if we can do this, guess what you get in your head? You get discouraged a lot easily. You might tend to make decisions out of a place of fear. You might try to really over-convince or persuade someone to buy from you when it's not the best fit for either of you. It just leads to bad decisions because you've got that arbitrary deadline in your head. Versus if you take a seat back and think, okay, I'm in this for life. If it takes me 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years to make $1 million, guess what? That's okay. I'll still be here. I'll still be doing what I love. And I don't need to make $1 million to have an amazing life. I'm gonna give what I need to do, make it about others, all the other mindset shifts, enjoy money, learn about it, and grow and see how quickly it can happen when I'm not obsessed about something happening by an arbitrary deadline. And when you do that, you open yourself to having a lot more fun, to getting a lot more creative, to growing actually a lot faster, and honestly, to getting to your financial goals a lot faster as well. And this is not the easiest thing to do. This is something I have to actually constantly remind myself of as well, but it was really, it made such a difference. So in the very beginning of my business, I decided I'm in this for a really long time. And of course I want to grow quickly, but if something doesn't happen this year, there's always next year, and there's the year. I'm just going to continue growing, and I'm going to focus on continually growing instead of, oh my gosh, I didn't hit this arbitrary goal by this arbitrary deadline, and I'm screwed. I can't do this. So a really big reframe. And because of that, I was able to appreciate all the small things that happen. Like, oh my gosh, someone commented on my post. That's a win. Oh my gosh, I got this next sale, and this is a dream client. Oh, big win. And before you know it, those things add up. And that way, it happens way faster than you might think. So those are 4 mindset shifts that helped me really make a really big difference to go from kind of employee thinking to entrepreneur thinking, and really change the way I thought about making money, about myself, about helping others. And really it all came together to help me make my first million by 30. Now, I'm going to share with you a couple of other things that are going to give you a little bit more detail if you want, and hopefully help you as well. I wanted to start with this mindset piece because that's where it starts. Otherwise, if you're thinking the not great thoughts for yourself, I don't want to say the wrong thoughts because there's no such thing, but thoughts that aren't helpful to you, then it doesn't matter the action you're taking or the strategies you're following. You're just not going to absorb them in a way that allows you to use them successfully. So start here. Now, the next thing that I have for you is a little bit more detail on where I started. And the best place to get with that is a video I'm going to link for you either somewhere on the screen and or in the description below about what it cost me to build my first successful online business to 6 figures. In that, I share a little bit more of my background. I share more details so that you can see it. Things snowball if you let it. And I'm going to share some more details about that. I also have an article that I wrote for Growth Lab on more details on how I crossed 1 million in my first year. It's like a 7,000 word in-depth case study. So I'm going to link that for you as well in the description. And then finally, if you're here, you're just getting started, I've got a great PDF for you on the first step, which is a 15-second script to help you get your first or next paying client. So I'm going to link that for you again somewhere on the screen and or in the description below. So that's a lot of takeaways, hopefully, that you have found helpful. And if you are new here, make sure you hit subscribe and the bell to be notified each week when I release a brand new video on helping you build your own online business. That is it for today. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.